Good morning, afternoon, Power Hitter Solar Warrior Tribe. Today is September 20th, 2022. My name is Jarrett McAllister, your mentor and co-host, alongside my main man, Jonathan Brunasso. What's up, brother? How are you?
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm pretty pumped. I'll be going to SPI, the world's largest renewable solar energy convention in Anaheim, today, tomorrow, and Thursday. So if anyone's out there, feel free to say hi. But I'm excited about that event, Jarrett, for sure.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. If I was in that neck of the woods, I definitely would make an effort to swing by there. It's probably a great networking opportunity, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, all the major vendors, equipment, financiers, EVs. So I'll try to take some content, share some stuff next week. But yes, and I know you've been growing your team, kicking butt, taking orders.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming off of I'll just start off the success stories by sharing the success. We had our virtual Power Day last Saturday, where Tom, Owen, Scott, myself, we ran it. It was, I believe, had the biggest attendance in the country here in California, and it was awesome. And I stuck to it. I sent out invitations, leading up to the event. I ended up having 5 guests. 3 people ended up signing up. 2 of them were collecting bills on that day. And then post the event, ended up closing a deal for another mentee, someone brand new on the team, his second deal in his first week. So yeah, on fire, man. Trying to just keep the momentum up.
That's great. Yeah. The Power Day virtual, and we had the Power Day in person. And of course, you all know we had Power World Convention in Texas. These events, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to build your business, if you want to invite people, if you want to build your team, become a mentor, close more deals, it's amazing that we're doing this, and we're doing them frequently. And I'm going to talk about the Career Day coming up here in just a sec. So shout out to Jarrett and all the leaders that did that. Let's do a few more success stories. Bill Connolly, what's going on?
Good morning, everybody. I just want to share that it was a great job, Jared, that you did, and we had an awesome time for the Power Virtual. We had a lot of success from that. I had a little bit of success. I had a couple, I think I signed 3 deals this past week and did a couple of mentor deals, but I really want to introduce and shout out to, you may have just met him here, Anthony Brennan, who from the Vacaville area, Mare Island specifically, is currently the CFO of a $300 million a year company, but has decided to transition to solar. And in that transition, in the past 2 weeks, he's been on the platform for 2 weeks, has submitted 13 deals. We've signed 5 of them he signed 1 more signing today, and all the other 7, I think, are all likely to sign. They're in some process of that, but just an amazing guy with no solar experience and no sales experience to speak of. And I just want to introduce him real quick. Anthony Brennan, would you speak real quick and say hi to the platform?
Good morning. Anthony, just unmute yourself real quick. It always does that.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be with Power. Thank God I discovered you guys from LinkedIn, from Bill's ad. Found it about 3 weeks ago, sent in my resume, talked the next day, signed up. And this is a lot more satisfying than being a CFO, I'll tell you that.
Right on.
Anthony is already recruiting too. Yes. Bill and I had a call with somebody that he wanted to refer to the platform, and Bill and I are both sitting in our office, and Anthony is sitting at, was it a baseball game you were sitting at?
Oh yeah, I was at the Giants and
the Giants game.
Giants game last week in line during a meeting.
Wow.
And then just yesterday, I was able to do a deal from my couch. That's pretty unique for me. So
awesome.
Great job, man.
Thank
Glad
you.
to have you on the board, setting an inspiration for the whole team. And I'm sure you know these next 7 years for renewable and solar, we're at the right place, right time, right company. So excited to have you on board.
Thank you.
All right, Anthony Bonilla. building a team, lots of successes. How you doing?
Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning, team. I'm doing great. I'm guessing I just logged in, so I'm guessing we're sharing wins.
Couple success stories. Yep.
All right, awesome. So I just want to give a shout out to I helped mentor 3 projects last week, and we closed them in a personal project as well. Just a shout out to Anthony Silva, Justin McNulty, and my wife Laura Bonilla on those 3 mentor deals, and then a personal one of mine. George Gonzalez is going to be taking his mentor exam tomorrow out of Dallas, Texas, bilingual mentor. And then just shout out to Zachary Bach and Spencer Frazier, who are killing it, growing a huge team.
Wow. Awesome, Anthony. Congratulations, my friend.
Does that mean you can see better now?
Sorry, someone's unmuted there. But yeah, nice work, Anthony. You know, there's levels to this, I often say. And once you're in here for a year or 2, like Anthony, then you start getting mentors under you. That's the game, ladies and gentlemen. If you can get to a place where you have a mentor or 2 or 3 under you, and you got a few builders under you, now your life has changed forever. So that's awesome, awesome work, Anthony. All right, Tom Cotter, let's go ahead and transition to a quote or a lead gen request of the day.
Thank you, Jonathan. I think one of the common questions that a lot of us leaders get asked by people who start on the platform that don't already have kind of a way to generate leads is, what's the best way to generate leads? And so I've got a little kind of assignment for everyone to do. I want you to grab a piece of paper and to start to list the different ways to generate solar leads. Don't explain every detail. It doesn't matter if they're good or bad ideas. And I want you to keep adding to that list and put the list someplace where you're going to see it multiple times a day. And for an extra boost, read the list when you wake up and when you go to sleep at night. And by looking at this list and reading it frequently, you're going to reprogram your brain's reticular activating system, or RAS, to focus on lead generation ideas. And your RAS is a superpower that you can train to your advantage. And as new ideas come, add to the list. And here's a little sneak peek. Some of the best lead generation ideas with the lowest cost will probably leverage our ambassador program if you're a tier 1 or tier 2 seller. And for a tier 3, the best ideas will probably revolve around referring sellers or enterprise, because then they can tag you as their tier 3. I'm going to post a link in the chat to my weekly email that I send out. And in that email that I'm going to send out this coming Thursday is going to be a spreadsheet where we can actually collaborate and add lead generation ideas to that spreadsheet. So you can look at that and even use that as your list that you look at all the time. Really, lead generation ideas are abundant. We just have to train our brains to recognize them and then take action on them. Thanks, Jonathan.
Awesome, awesome, Tom. Make a list, post it up. What you see, what you think about comes true. So definitely do that. If you have any other referral lead ideas, type them in the chat. I wanted to type in a few myself there. Social media posting, friends, BNI, digital door knocking, physical door knocking, ambassadors, LinkedIn, like Bill did, referral partners, roofers, realtors. There's so many ideas here. So
I'll give everybody another one here, Jonathan. So go on Craigslist for whatever city you want and click on small business in the list. So let's say you're looking at Houston, click on small businesses. In the search, type tree, and you're going to see all the tree trimmers in Houston. Most of them are small businesses, so they list their cell phone number of the owner, the guy that goes out and trims the trees. So you now can reach out to that cell phone, call him and say, hey, I saw your ad on Craigslist for tree trimming. I don't need tree trimming, but I work with a lot of homeowners in the area and occasionally need some tree trimming work done. Do you take referrals? If so, what's the best way to get that referral to you? By the way, if you're ever at a house that has a great south or west facing roof without much shade, I pay $1,000 for any referrals for going solar. That's what I do for my business. So you can build a network of tree trimmers in different cities and stay in touch with them over text or email. And you can go on powur.com/team. And if you have their name, email, and phone number, you can actually sign them up as an ambassador. They'll get an email with a link to click to verify and set their password, and they're set up as your ambassador right there.
There you go. Some nuggets on how to get referral ambassadors, leads, close more deals. Boom. Thank you, guys. All right, let's keep it going here. We're going to do a few quick announcements and some dates, and then we're going to get right into today's training. Again, Solar Warrior Tribe Power Hitters, everyone is welcome to this Tuesday call. So let's celebrate month to date September. Personal sales, Paul Leone. What an amazing leader, mentor, 12 years in the business. Coming in at third, myself taking fourth, a good Florida leader here, Joel, and then Jordan Shaw holding it down. Forgive me if I miss any of your names that are on here today. Referrals or recruits, shout out to, again, Joel, but Chris Brunasso, second place. Shout out Larry McKinney, fifth place, and even Charles Thompson's at 10th place month to date for recruiting. Mentors, those of you helping other people, Wally, of course, is a great mentor in Southern California. David Perez here on the team, kicks ass, speaks Spanish, building his team. Chris Perez, Vegas, hanging out with him yesterday. Luis Perez, another beast on this team, Spanish speaking. Colby in Vegas. Cynthia Alvidrez, amazing. Chris Brunasso, amazing. So shout out to the mentor leaderboard here. Congrats to all you guys month to date helping other people close business. All right, as you know, we have a contest that ended September 15th, giving away an electric car, 20 prizes, a whole bunch of stuff. So there's a 2-week audit period. So stand by for the 2-week audit period. But here is positions, I think 17 through 50, maybe. So big shout out to Marisa here, Chris Perez again, Eric Goldstein as well. I know Anthony is a good leader, Eric Garcia, Tom Cotter, nice work, Tom, on the leaderboard. Corey Ventura, Owen, shout out to you, my friend. Nice work. JC Rangel, of course. And the top 15, top 20. Let's see. Big shout out. Cynthia, Paul M, David Perez, Luis Perez. Noticing a trend here. Wally Arita, Chris Brunasso, Ubaldo, big shout out. Jordan Shaw. And fingers crossed with the audit period. I will be taking an electric vehicle, Fisker Ocean. Hope to all give you a ride in that vehicle. So stay tuned for that. Solar Edge, we did have a team training hangout event by Solar Edge at Topgolf here. Let's watch a quick 30-second video from that event. 1, 2, 3, keep it going now. Hanging out with all of you guys, celebrating some of the leaders that were on the leaderboard for the contest at that nice event by Solar Edge. So future trainings. Today we will be talking about solo proposal tool. We'll be deep diving into the adders and going over those items. I did mention earlier there's SPI Expo in Anaheim going on today through Thursday. So if any of you are there, I'll be there the next 2 days. This Wednesday, check this out, flyer in the left-hand corner. maybe someone can put the Facebook event page link or the Eventbrite link, but this Wednesday, 5 p.m., we will be doing a business Zoom targeted at the real estate industry, realtors and lenders. You can invite into this event. You can build into this event. You can invite real estate agents, lenders, because we will be talking to them why they should partner and add solar to their book of business with income opportunities. So that will be this Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific. Every Thursday, if you're new here, please take a Power On onboarding training. You can find this at powercalendar.com. Every Monday, JC Rangel at 9 a.m. Pacific does connectwithjc.com. Great team training there. And then every Monday at 5 Pacific, we have a Power Hour company business presentation. I'm sure you've seen it in your emails. Build and invite into that. And then next Tuesday at 10 a.m., check this out, 10 a.m. Pacific, next week's training, we will be talking about processing, the intake, the welcome call, the welcome email, getting the job assigned. We're going to have the top 3 heads of that department in the house. So Catherine, Dan Lumen, and Daniel DiFiore will be all joining us next week for this important topic. Much more, powercalendar.com, read your Monday newsletter, and put this down. Bobby Smith is running this all new career week. So there will be events for solar pros on the 24th of October. The 25th of October is specifically for roofing, and the 26th is specifically for real estate. This will be virtual. Career week, you can go after these demographics and build into these epic events. I'm pretty excited about this. This will really help us build our business and connect with these referral partners as well. All right, so today's training is around solo proposal tool and adders. I'm going to show you a few tricks. I'm going to kind of collaborate a little bit with Jarrett and Tom as we go through a few things, but I'll go ahead and kick things off here. And we're going to start with some basics. And forgive me if this is a little bit boring for some of you guys, but I promise there'll be some nuggets in here. So power.com, obviously /login. This is the main screen. You can see your marketing, your swag, your earnings, your report, your team, your dashboard. But under projects, you can see all of your projects that are open. You can toggle to installed projects, or you can enter a lead. So when entering a lead, we're going to hit add lead. And just to show you all real fast, let me just bust through this. You're going to always enter someone on title. Do not enter 2 names in here. You want to have generally someone that is on title of the property. So I'm going to put in some of my parents' information. If you have the utility bill, always upload that here and try to designate the source of where you got this lead from. So then you hit create. If you're missing something, it'll tell you what you're missing. Then it'll let you create the lead. Now it's a lead. So if we click onto that lead, we can qualify it, meaning we're ready to move forward. Check the pin is on the right house, and then we can go ahead and hit qualify. So now we have a project and project name and ID up top here. So you can see a bunch of tabs. Now, if you're new here, your whole goal is to enter a lead, get the bill, and assign a mentor. You can select your own, or you can have Powur's algorithm and metrics determine who's the best closer in that utility, that state, that area. And you can even do it by virtual or in person. So, you know, maybe we want to select Jarrett McAllister, boom. We can select him as a mentor, hit assign, and now he has access to this job, and we're going to split it 50-50.
Look at that
Now-
dude's rating. It's pretty good.
Yeah, nice reviews, Jarrett. Nice close rate. Now, well, something Jarrett mentioned, if you've sold 3 deals on with a mentor, maybe you're a realtor, it may let you request the proposal on your own. Don't do that. Always assign the mentor, if you're going to have one, before let them request the proposal. Okay, so just a side note there.
And the reason for that, you guys, is because if you request the proposal and then assign the mentor, the proposal is going to come back in your name, in your solo account. And when the mentor requests docs, it's not going to go to the mentor selling the deal. It's going to end up going to you. It's just a mess. So like Jonathan said, if you're using a mentor, let the mentor request the proposal.
That's right. And if you need to add an ambassador, once the ambassador has joined Powur, you can see them in your team section. You got the email saying that they joined. If they're not showing here, you can email salessupport@powur.com, project name and ID in the subject line always, and then say, please add this ambassador, name, email, and phone number, and you can get the ambassador added to the project. So under site info, you're going to want to make sure that utility bill is uploaded. We're going to touch on annual consumption in kilowatt hours here, but I tend to leave that blank. So if I upload the utility bill, so I'm going to go ahead and find, I think I deleted it already, but you find the utility bill and upload it. Southern California Edison. If you know the roof information, try to enter it or let the mentor enter it. This will not affect your proposal, but it is good to try to enter the right information to help your mentor if you have one. I fill in every section. Roof mounting, if it's HOA, I just put not applicable. Financing, I just put cash. Solar. This stuff is not too important, but it is helpful again if you have a mentor. Now, I want to show you all a little trick that I do. So I will put in the proposal notes, and I'll put this in the chat for y'all as well. I have it in a saved notepad. I say, please see usage from electric bill uploaded, file and copy usage to solo proposal. So the utility bill has a chart, and often they actually copy it into the proposal for you, so you don't have to manually calculate it. And then I say, please max fit each roof plane, horizontal, vertical panels, 1 foot setback. I want panels everywhere. Now, once you fill in everything and you hit save, I didn't upload a utility bill, you'll be able to request the solo proposal. So now I want to show you one example of what that looks like. So here's a project, and I put, please see the utility bill. So here's the utility bill that I uploaded. And you can see in February, it's 1262, and then a little higher, and then drops down. Now, once you request the proposal, it will show up under the proposals tab with a URL. And that URL lets you obviously access the solo dynamic proposal. And if you're new here, this is where you want the mentor to jump on Zoom and start teaching you all of this stuff. But I'm going to open the solo proposal. We have what's called a max fit design, panels everywhere. We can remove and add panels with the edit button. But I want to check the usage. So if I click on the bar, and we'll circle back around to this in a sec. What was my month of February, Jarrett? 1262.
1262.
So if we come over to February, did the designer put in the right amount here?
They did.
And we even said the prior 3 months, 1, 2, 3 were higher, and then it dropped down. So
Guessing they probably have like an electric heater or something, or running that pool heater in the winter.
Yeah. So my main takeaway here is if the utility bill has a graph like this, and we're asking nicely in the proposal notes, then sometimes they go ahead and put the usage in for us. It's a little trick. Now, sometimes you'll ask for something here and they may not do it. So you can always go to request a revision, be patient, use the chat, and eventually you'll get the right proposal if there is a revision needed. Proposals do need to be within 30 days in order to sign them. Once it's over 30 days, you can no longer sign a contract with this proposal.
Question, does it cost a proposal credit if you need a proposal refreshed?
Yes.
And is there a way to get a refreshed proposal without having to redo the entire design?
So a proposal does cost some credits, and I believe a revision may use a few credits.
A half a credit.
If it was done in error, go to chat.powur.com, let them know of the error, and they will make sure that you're not charged a credit, is my understanding, if someone else would like to chime in on that.
Yeah, they're not supposed to, but it'll probably go through. But chat.powur.com is the best place to get them to change things without actually getting a full revision done, things that don't need a revision. But I had a quick question, Jonathan, on when you request them to get the information, the usage information, and they take it from a power bill that's just got a graph, are they able to get the actual numbers? They're able to get the specific numbers?
They do an average, so it's an approximate bill.
Okay.
It's honestly close enough. Now it's up to us guys to calculate this every time. But to answer your question, Bill, 8 out of 10 times it's close enough for me and I move on. Yeah, it's a great trick. When you're selling 30 deals in a month, you really could use the help with this. So,
and what do you put as the number in the back office when it's saying annual consumption, but you're asking for them to put in, because sometimes they'll just go off of that number. What number would you put in? Just the monthly, or would you?
If you have a bill uploaded and you pick the utility, you do not have to type in annual kilowatt hours.
Did not know that. Okay, cool.
And also, Jared, if you put 10,000, they're not going to go off of that. So.
Well, it will override my hack. It will override my hack.
So the secret is if you upload the bill,
do
not enter anything in the annual consumption. Okay.
And I want to touch on one thing on a bill, guys, because this is a common mistake. A lot of people see your daily average electricity usage is 45 kilowatt hours per day.
That's based on this year or this month.
Exactly. They think that you can multiply 45 by 365. That is not correct. It is referencing this time frame, Jan 18 to Feb 14. This bar in black, that is what's 45 kilowatts per day. So if you type 45 times 30 days, it's around 1,300 kilowatt hours. So that does not mean it's for the entire year. Last year, they used 30 kilowatt hours in February, shown here in the black bar. Okay, so these numbers are not the whole year. They're only referencing one 30-day window usually.
Jonathan, I just took a screenshot of that bar graph, and I am in a couple minutes going to post the kilowatt hours for each one of those months using the tool that I posted in the chat called Web Plot Digitizer.
Really?
So we know that February has 1,262 kilowatt hours. There you go.
That's great.
So you can click on the other months on the chart, and it'll tell you what kilowatt hours are in there.
What wizardry did you just post in the chat here, Tom?
Web Plot Digitizer.
I always dreamt of doing that. And just for reference, guys, so when you see 34 on the left here, that's 34 kilowatt hours per day. So if you draw a line over, September's pretty close, right? So we can say September, they're using about 36 kilowatt hours per day. Multiply that by 30 days, and it's like 990 or something like that. So you can rough it and average it by looking at the graph and looking to the left. But sounds like Tom's tool is way better here. All right. Well, now that we got entering a lead, requesting a proposal, tagging a mentor, leaving proposal notes, some revisions, utility bill, now we can go over to a proposal tool. So this is a proposal. You always want to make sure the name, email, phone is correct. If you need to change this, you can request a revision. You could go to chat.powur.com, or if you are a mentor, you can get backend access by phx.gosolo.io. So this is a trick just for the mentors. You can actually change the information of the customer in the proposal without going to chat or requesting a revision. Changing it in summary does not mean that the proposal is changing. You have to use a revision, chat, or go into the back office, phx.gosolo.io. All right, now we can have some fun and edit this proposal. So we're scrolling down now on the solar proposal. We have some default equipment that's already selected. And we see estimated yearly production. Let's just take a look at my consumption that the homeowner used for the last 12 months. I always recommend do not change this. Don't add in more for EV. This, in my opinion, should be what the homeowner used the last 12 months. I always like to keep this the same. And it's also for the audit period. You don't want to change these numbers, okay? So we're at 115% offset. Now let's go ahead and go back up, click the edit button. In here, you could see the azimuth or the direction. This one is showing some shade, so maybe there's a tree here. You can see it's highlighted in green. The tilt is 23 degrees, so you always want to take a look at that. There's 23 panels that are turned on here. And then we have some panels that are east, northeast facing. 72 azimuth, little bit of shade over there, 15 degrees, tilt 23, 16 panels active. We can see our offset in the top right, our system size currently, and any other details. So I'm gonna hit save, and I could obviously remove panels as well, or turn panels off and on. So let's keep, actually, let's go ahead and look at equipment here. Jared, do we need to pause for any questions at all? Everyone doing okay? I'm not sure if Rosa has a question.
I think we're good.
Okay.
I'll take a look. Hold on.
So I'm gonna go ahead and go into equipment to show you guys what this is all about real quick. This is in California. So currently we have the Q cells. That's my favorite. They're like the Toyota of the industry, #1 sold panel, German engineered, giant plant in Georgia. Canadians will save you a few dollars. Longi will save you a few more dollars, 355 watts. Black on black is the BOB. And then the REC, of course, is the Alphas, premium Porsche, Mercedes of our industry. You're gonna pay a little bit more for those, better warranties, and just a quality panel, better production in year 25, a better linear power warranty on the REC. So it'll be up to you and your mentor to determine what the best fit is. Of course, we have Solar Edge or the different N-phase micro inverters as well. So select the right equipment. And now we're gonna go ahead and spend some time in the adders. The REC, Carlos, is a 25-year warranty, but where they're a little bit better than, say, Hanwha is in year 25, the RECs have a 92% power warranty, not an 86% power warranty like the Hanwha. So higher power warranty in year 25, and the RECs come with 25 years of labor from the manufacturer in the warranty as well. So 2 little added bonuses. The REC even has an added back brace bar for extra support. for wind or snow loads, and the REC has better heat coefficients for like the desert, Palm Springs, super hot. Yeah, a couple. It's a linear.
That being said, though, I will say the Hanwha Q-Cell 400 black on black is a moneymaker.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm leading every project with, and people absolutely love it. Best price performance.
And the installers don't like the Canadians. They're giant, they're heavy, and their wiring is short on one end, long on another. So yeah, if you can stick with the Q-Cells or even the RECs, you'll be in good shape. And Carlos, I mean linear power warranty, not production warranty. So very specific differences there. I'd go ahead and someone could type in the chat or explain that, but we only have a linear power warranty with this. All right, let's keep it moving. Maybe we'll get some input here from the gentleman. So adders is electrical adders. We have a D-rate, main panel upgrade, RMA, sub-panel, line side tap. So let's touch on this real quick. A D-rate, and I keep it simple, I don't get too technical, is when they have to change the main breaker to allow for more solar, to allow for back feeding back to the grid. So it's $650. And then a main panel upgrade, obviously their electrical panel is too old, we have to do a new one. TBD is to be determined. If it's not needed, it will not be done. If the engineers determine that the solar will work fine with the house, it will not be done. You can change order, lower the price, or hey, your commission just went higher. Congratulations. Required is it will be done regardless if it is needed or not. RMA, GMA, line side tap, those are advanced techniques to avoid a main panel upgrade. They can suggest that after the site survey. It may help speed up the project. You may avoid the $2,000 to $3,000 cost of a main panel upgrade. So those are RMA, GMA, or line side tap. Tom, I don't know if you have anything to add on those two guys.
I mean, derating is a pretty big topic. I'll post a link in the chat to how to know when to derate the main breaker, and that ties into how to know when to, upgrade the main panel. But if you're selling in California, you're not going to be doing line side taps. If you're selling in Texas or East Coast, you may be able to.
Got it. Yeah, that's true. It's dependent on the city and who even allows it. And I will circle back around on EV chargers, Jay, and then Jane, I'll circle back around on sunlight hours and direction as well. So sub panel, self-explanatory, a separate sub panel for more circuit breakers if they request that as well. So those are electrical adders. With a main panel upgrade, you always want to select stucco, paint, and patch. So when a panel is recessed in the wall, the installer will try to stucco around it and make it look as good as possible and paint and patch around the panel. So always include these two with a main panel upgrade. And just to throw it out there, a disclaimer, these prices should be the highest that the installer is allowed to charge. I know that some installers charge $2,100 for a main panel and $300 for stucco paint patch. Well, that means I just got what, $500 to $600 more margin on the project, more commission. So this should be the highest allowed per the MSA agreement with our installers. Moving down to mounting adders. If there is anything except asphalt composition shingle, you want to make sure to select the proper roof type. Concrete tile requires extra work and extra racking mounts. Flat roof, we tend to use ChemCurb or ChemCurb. It's slightly tilted, so it's additional cost there on the flat roof. Ballasted is when we don't penetrate a flat roof, we actually use concrete bricks on a racking sled system, if you will. And that is often common like in Palm Springs, where there's not enough support and rafters to penetrate. You need a ballasted system, very expensive. Foam roof, that's usually flat or very low degree tilt, or often in the desert. Metal roof. Now guys, metal roof, this is like standing seam or corrugated. This is not an entire metal Decra tile roof. On those, you need to get a custom roofing bid from roofing department. You can also request it here. I just want to point out, metal is only the metal we can work with, like standing seam or maybe corrugated. But if it is the entire metal roof Decra tile, then you do need a comp out, recessed. Again, work with your mentor or solar pros with years and years of experience if you need help with that. Lastly, ground mount. Let's dig into this one for a second. A lot of people say, should I use SolarEdge for a ground mount or Enphase for a ground mount? It's up to you. Both work well. I have done more Enphase on my ground mounts recently. A lot of commercial jobs use SolarEdge, so it's really up to the person on the inverter. This ground mount, again, is the highest price. It often is not this expensive. Steel has come down, other things have come down a bit, but this is the highest. Now you do want to also include trenching. So maybe you need, 20 feet of dirt trenching. Maybe there's the last 10 feet to the electrical panel is concrete, or if there's any rock formation, pretty similar to dirt trenching here, just a little bit more.
And Jonathan, I'll mention, you don't have to trench to the main panel, right? You're just trenching over to the house, which can then go up the wall and be a conduit run over to the panel.
Right, that's a good point. Yeah, however you can get to the house and then conduit.
In the ground mount quote, isn't there some amount of trenching that is included as part of the figure that they calculate?
I think in some
25
states,
feet or something?
I think in some states, you may see an adder that says plus trenching, but in California, it's safe to say there is no trenching involved with that. I would always add it extra.
Worst case scenario, you side on the air of caution and it's just added to the margin.
Yeah. All right, so that is ground mount. Use whatever inverter you want. Often with ground mounts, guys, you will need an electrical, possibly an electrical upgrade of some sort. An MPU, a sub panel. On big mansions, you may need to go to a 400 amp main panel upgrade. So just keep in mind that these giant ground mounts, if they are large, tend to need some electrical adders plus some trenching, and you should be good to go.
I think with the 400 amp, is it also $2,500 or a little bit more?
Heck no. That's, you could safe to say another $2,000 to $3,000 for the 400 amp, Anthony.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we kind of covered on RMA, GMA, but it's a way to avoid the main panel upgrade. So it's additional work. It's allowed in some utilities in some cities, but it's just a way to avoid an NPU for that person that's asking in the chat. In some markets, we have a travel adder. Always look at knowledge base and look at coverage map. You may need to add a travel adder if it is outside of our normal work zone as well. We covered dirt trenching, rock, and concrete. We covered stucco and paint. Steep roof. So again, in solo, if the roof is more than 30 degrees tilt, 33 degrees tilt here in California, you have to add the steep roof adder. So don't forget that. Usually you want to look at your house on Google Satellite, Google Street View. You want to do some research, and if it looks like it's a Tudor style super pitched roof, then you want to be aware of that, or your mentor should be aware of that. Tom or Jared, do you know what septic plan is?
Hopefully, I try to avoid those.
That would be for a ground
If it's a ground
mount.
mount, Yeah,
if if you need to make sure you're avoiding the septic system with your trenching and ground mount.
because they all have leach, you got a leach field when you have a septic system. So you want to stay away and it's just avoid it.
I have run into that. Yeah, thank you. And then Roy, you asked, it's up to us to add the mounting adders. Depending on the roof type, you or your mentor has to add the correct mounting adders, guys. And you need to get good at looking at Google Street View or getting pictures or going to the home and being able to see it and know that's concrete tile, that's a metal roof, that's clay tile. So if you don't know that, work with a mentor that can help you. And we will have more roofing training coming up very soon. All right, attic run. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying this cannot be done on all jobs. This is where the conduit is kept in the attic where possible, comes out the side of the house down to the electrical panel. If there is room, if there's crawl space, if it's even possible, this is a maybe. It helps keep it aesthetically cleaner looking on the outside of the home. We're going to run the conduit as best as possible and paint the conduit to match. If you add this, also when you get the designs back, remind your PM, hey, I wanted this to be attic run. Okay, so some of you select that. 99% of the time, guys, I never mess with this one. Inverter in garage, kind of similar. I never mess with this. Inverters are okay to be southwest facing, get hit by the sun next to the electrical panel. But for whatever reason, if you have like a townhome that requires it in the garage or an HOA, or you want it to look cleaner, the homeowner's concerned about it being vandalized for some dumb reason, you can select inverter in garage. Critter guard. This one's fun. So like in Vegas, this is popular. In the high desert of California, this is popular. 9 out of 10 homeowners will never have to worry about this. This is where we place a wire mesh grill between the solar panel, which is usually an inch or two off of the roof, and the actual roof itself. Now you need to do the number of feet around every single solar array. So, for example, 150 feet is $900. I usually say $900 to $1,100 is the starting price for a critter guard. So if they're concerned about pigeons roosting and it's a problem in their area, then you may want to add this proactively.
Hey, Jonathan, maybe 10 cents per kilowatt, per watt, sorry, 10 cents per watt.
10 cents per watt, that's a good ballpark to use. I'll just add on to that if there are multiple roofing planes and not one big square, there could be additional feet needed. So it's going to be around every panel. So do your due diligence, but yeah, maybe 10 foot a watt.
And they sell a critter guard by the 100 feet too. So if they have to get into another roll, that might also be costly.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. This is a 15.6 kilowatt, guys. So yeah, 10 cents is definitely a safe bet, close to $1,500 if you want to do the math there. Tree trimming rebate. My feeling on this is don't ever add it. If you want to give the homeowner a rebate, if you want to give them a promo, if you want to pay them a check out of your commission, do that. I would say don't bother putting it here, my opinion. Now, if you have to, you got to get a landscaper, gardener, you got to get an invoice from them. You'll likely have to upload it here. You'll have to maybe get a picture that's showing the work is completed, an invoice saying paid, and then we will be able to rebate the tree trimming. My advice, leave it out. Jared or
It's
Tom?
just gonna cause problems and headaches and makes things more complicated. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you have to do it, but if you're doing a lot of deals, this is the stuff that you're not really trying to deal with.
You don't want to slow down the process over $1,000 tree trimmer. Like seriously, leave it out, in my opinion. But up to you. And then this is again something I've never used, and I know there's certain things that qualify. But Tom or Jarrett, do you guys have anything on the energy efficient kit rebate? Coming soon, I would assume.
I've never used it. I mean, once again, it's just another added thing into a project, and you're making promises, and it's convoluted, and you're going back and forth, and light bulbs, and I don't know. I try to keep projects as clean as possible. Learned from you. So those are my thoughts on it. But Tom, have you had experience with the energy rebates?
No, it's, I put that in the same category as the tree trimming rebate. If you want to develop a whole problem, or not problem, maybe a problem, a program around that. And I mean, you really got to babysit that on the back end to make sure that it goes like it's supposed to. So I don't like creating babysitting jobs for myself. So I avoid that.
Yeah, and I would also say I saw someone recently ask in the Power Pioneers group or something about the energy rebate. The customer wanted to get new windows as energy efficient. Is there a max? Is there a cap on that? Like, does anybody know? Or
I would not do that. You can email finance@power.com to ask if it has to save a deal, but trust me, keep it outside, stay in our lane, do the best of what we offer right now. One day we will offer it. One day we'll have HVAC, but not right now, in my opinion. But finance@power.com.
Yeah,
That's great advice, you guys.
that rebate is more for like LED light bulbs and a smart thermostat and things like that. For James, who asked a question in the chat, it's not for a load controller.
All right, I'm going to try to hustle through a little bit more here. I know we're coming to the top of the hour, so this will go a little bit later. In some areas, there may be extra engineering needed. If you're aware of that or your mentor, you can add this. Again, this is something I've never added personally. Roofing work. If you get a quote from right here, request roofing proposal, or emailing roofing@power.com, you can add roofing work here and put in the amount of the roof work which will be added to this project.
I had a question on that, Jonathan. When you request for a roof proposal, now do they replace the whole roof, entire roof, or is it just the section for the panels?
It's up to you to ask for either a partial roof under solar arrays only, or for an entire home re-roof. And when you get the roofing proposal back, depending on your market, you can actually toggle on or off certain areas on that roofing proposal.
Yeah, and I'd like to add to the roofing portion is that if you add a single dollar in the roof work adder, it's going to go to contract review, where it's going to delay the process. They're going to email you saying, please send us the Power approved roofing proposal. So unless you have a Power approved roofing proposal and know about it, don't put a single dollar, because it will delay the project getting assigned to a project manager and over to an installer. Also, please, because of wait times and everything, and what we have going on and matching up a roofer, you have to set proper expectations with your client. If you have roof work involved, let them know that it can be up to a week before we reach out to them to schedule site survey, because like I said, they're matching up the roofing proposal, a roofer, the installer all together, and it takes extra time. So just want to give everyone a heads up about that.
Yeah, good point.
Thank you.
Miscellaneous electrical or permit, honestly, I would just buffer the margin. So I would not recommend using those. Homeowner rebate, everybody, you can send this homeowner a check up to $599. So you can make it any amount you want, $400, $599. It will get added into the project as a cost. But we're a business owner. Everything here is up to us to select or add and then present. You have all the tools. So if you want to add a rebate, likely will still be cheaper than most of the competition. You can add a rebate with the homeowner rebate here. They are not 1099 for this. This is just a check that comes 3 to 6 weeks after the solar installation. Homeowner rebate. Extended warranty. Our Power Care 30-year parts, labor, roof penetration. Look up knowledge base for more information. if you are doing Solar Edge, you could extend the 12-year Solar Edge manufacturer's warranty by default to 20 or 25. Might as well add the Power Care every single time, in my opinion. Now, I'm going to pass this one for now. Multiple arrays. So if you're using 3 arrays or more, you know, in this example, I think this might constitute that. You have 1 array here, 2 array, 3 array. So 3 or more, it's good practice to add the multiple array adder. The installer may or may not charge for it. Your commission could go up, but good practice, 3 or more arrays, go ahead and add multiple arrays. We do have the Solar Edge battery, and we have the N-phase battery. I'm not going to get into too much detail here. There's different N-phase options for battery. Hop into the office hours or look up other training for the N-phase battery. These batteries also have about $2,000 to $3,000 of margin. So I'm going to say it's like a $1,500 commission. We are going to get that number fine-tuned. My brother's working with the commission team, but it's safe to say $2,000, $2,500 of margin in these battery adders. EV outlet and charger. Hopefully I'll explain this okay. The first option is just the outlet, a 240 outlet, a plug where they want it. Maybe in the garage, maybe in the side of the house. This is parts, labor, conduit, metal involved, maybe a breaker. So that is just for the outlet. Now, with an EV, you also need the charging device. So whether that's the N-phase clipper or something called a juice box, or maybe they want the Tesla supercharger device on the website for $800 to $900. So this second option includes the charging device. I believe right now we are procuring the Clipper Creek charging device with N-phase. And that's as much as I speak to on this one. Anything else to add? If not,
I know you said that's the most you want to add to that one, but I did have a question. If they do the charger, are they also installing, is it an outlet plus charger?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, just, the charger's not just wired directly in, it's, they install an outlet, then they add a charger to it as well.
So that's why it's so expensive, Jarrett, because the Clipper Creek, you know, if you go and look at them, their highest priced unit is like $1,100, you know, and so the outlet has to be included.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And here's a picture of what a Clipper Creek looks like. So yeah, one is for the outlet alone. And then one is for the charging device as well.
And the outlet plus charger should be about $2,000. They're going to adjust it in Solo from 2,400 down to 2,000. So there's a little bit of margin built in right now.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks, Chris.
right.
Would the 30-year warranty also cover this in case it was not working?
That's a good question. Anyone want to? I'm going to say.
I would say no, honestly. I mean, it's
No.
not in the warranty as of right now. I mean, that doesn't say charger is included in it. I'm sure the charger has a manufacturer's warranty, but as of right now, on an error of caution, I would not say that is included. I don't know, Brunasso, you agree with that, or?
I think it's case by case. Like, I don't think we're going to not help them because we installed it, but it may fall to the manufacturer's warranty on that component. So yeah, I'm going to say case by case. We may want to ask Powur's O&M team regarding that specifically. All right, lastly, the margin. This is what we make 70% of. Powur has to keep a minimum of $1,500. So in this example of 9360 times 70%, it's a $6,500 commission. It's up to you to set the commission. If you want to get uber competitive, and your margin drops below $5,000, well, 30% is not $1,500. So remember, minimum $1,500 power keeps. So in this example, 4,680 minus 1,500 is a $3,100 commission. So this is where you set your commission, and all of this can be verified in the pricing tab. You always want to make sure you see the modules are there, the inverters there, and then you have all the other pricing as well for this system. A couple more things to point out. Almost done here. If you click the edit tab, actually, I was trying to look for sun hours. So sorry, if you click system details here on the left, you will see again those modules, the azimuth, the tilt, the shade percentage, and then sun hours. So someone asked earlier, can we do north facing? We can. If it's a heavy tilt north, it's not going to be as much production. If it's less of a tilt north, it's going to be more production. Now they're throwing shade in here, but without any shade, like on this example, we do use by default, everyone, a 3% burn-in. Like when you buy a new car and drive it off the lot, you have a burn-in on the first year. So often panels have a 0.5%, 1%, 2% burn-in in year one, fresh off the lot. We put 3%. So often our estimates for kilowatt hour production is conservative. We're usually not over promising, and in a year later, it didn't produce this, and now we're looking stupid. So we do use a nice 3% burn-in. Our numbers are conservative. You can see the breakdown of production per month. And I just want to state that we get our data solo, this tool gets our data from PV Watts. So PV Watts uses 40 years of weather data, as well as other solar system productions and a lot of metrics to come up with the production based upon azimuth, longitude, latitude, state, shade, tilt. That's what gets you the sun hours. That's what gets you the estimated kilowatt hour production per year. Personally, a lot of my systems produce 3 to 8% more in year one than my proposal said, so I look like a hero.
Hey, Jonathan, really quick, I'd like to give a pro tip on the edit screen. If you can go back up. That actually, yeah, that's a great one. A lot of the times you guys have noticed ever since Solo like redid, we went to version 2, sometimes it's zoomed way in on the home. In order to fix that, if you scroll down to the bottom left hand or bottom right hand corner, and you click the 3-tier option bar, set home view, then you hit continue. You can zoom out a bit, 1 or 2. I think usually 2 zoom outs is pretty good, and then hit confirm. That way, when you go back into the Solo proposal, it's not going to be all zoomed in and gritty and granular. It looks a lot better.
Oh, bro. So, learn something every day. Hit edit, hit the 3 on the bottom, set home view, continue. Yeah, I hate how it's all zoomed in. Hit confirm, hit got it, hit save.
There you go.
Oh, look how pretty. That's nice. And some of the proposals have a sunlight feature here too. Not all of them, just some of them.
Yeah, I've not been able to get that to work. That's one thing. Do you have to click inside the sun? No, yeah. A lot of them stay sunlight and it doesn't work for me. It's a crapshoot for me. But yeah, hopefully that helped out with the zoom in and out, because that was driving me nuts. And I was actually having to go into Solo, request the proposal that way, click on version 1. So yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try to wrap this up here in a minute. I just want to cover a few more things. We covered pricing, adders, incentives, guys. If you're doing the 12-month promo, the 3-year promo, new customer incentive has to be unselected. So just real fast, I'll do a mosaic 15-year. They're all let's do a 299. So now we have that new customer incentive, $3,400 being added into the project. If you don't want that, hide it. And now you can see the price went down and we're not sending them a check. So again, it's up to you and your mentors to determine if you need a promo. My brother and I never use this promo. Wally Arita always uses this promo. So everyone's different. But you have to add it into the project. I had a guy that had it on hidden, sold the project. His customers ask him where the check is after install, and you do not want to be in that position, trust me. So that's the incentive. And utility escalation, roofing, we covered that. So last thing we're gonna do is show how to request docs, and then we'll wrap up. I know, Chris, you wanted me to cover some of this. So we have our lenders. If you need help, work with your mentors, but we're just going to select the normal loan here. And now we're ready to sell this deal. Let's do a 25-year 2. All right, customers paying $530 a month. Now they're paying $189. And we're making a 7-8 grand commission. Okay, cool. So once you're ready to sell it, you can hit qualify. Mosaic is a soft credit check. Now it's very important. You have to have one person on title that is also on the loan and the contract. I always recommend one name on the contract. You can use a co-signer for the loan if that person needs help on the credit. So always one person, legal name, no Bob when it's William, legal name, check it out here. Income for that person, last 4 date of birth, and you can do a soft check. If you need to add a co-applicant, then you can add a co-applicant as well to this. So always make sure that the proposal name up top is the same person that is going to be the primary for the loan and is on title. If you need to add a cosigner, you can. So do the soft check. And then, yeah, and if you guys can put the questions in the chat, not private directly to me, please, we'll try to circle back around. So lastly, I'm going to cover requesting docs. This is really important. PV only, or if you are doing roof, I just learned this actually, PV and roof, make sure to select if you're doing a roofing work, but PV only or roof, Spanish or English, need to be legally compliant. Now you're going to want to get the utility number up top here, customer account for Edison starting in 7. And then we also see the meter number here starting in 222. So you'd want to enter the account number and meter number. You always want to try to do this initially so that the interconnection and net metering form is pre-populated for our team. If you don't do this, you will only be causing a delay or an issue or an error down the road. So always try to enter the account number, meter number every single time you request a doc. And you have to ensure that whatever name is here, I don't care if it's their nickname, their cousin, their tenant, I don't care who it is. If it's typo, it has to be exactly spelt out here. So you would select utility account holder if it's different from the homeowner. Ricky's not on the utility. And it's okay, guys. It's okay that the cousin, the mother-in-law, the tenant, the friend is on the bill. That's fine. They just need to sign the net metering interconnection agreement. So you would type in here, Isabel de Santos III, whatever the heck shows on the bill, type it in exactly here. Now, my advice is to use a secondary email if there's one available. So in this example, Ricky is going to sign the contract after the solar rep signs. Once Ricky signs, then it will go to Isabel, and it'll go to this email address. Once all 3 parties have signed, you will get a email that says completed. If you don't get that, you do not have a contract that is completed. Now, if you have to use the same email address, the one that comes up by default, Maria the third. Again, exactly. I don't care what it says, exactly. If you use the same email, it gets a little tricky. They're going to get one email first for the contract, then they're going to get another email within a minute after that. It might get confused, it might get clumped together. Then that's for the interconnection, and they have to make sure their DocuSign is configured that it's saying Isabel and not Ricky. That's why I recommend using a secondary email address. So, Chris, did that kind of clarify things for you there, how to request docs? I'm gonna go ahead and pause and see if we can kind of tidy this up and put a bow on it and wrap things up here. How we
Yeah, and Jonathan, really quick, I got to take off. I have an 11:30 and need to get that going. But thank you, great training. I mean, really phenomenal. And this will be recorded for those who ask. So have a great day, you guys.
Thank you, sir. All right, anyone else?
David Perez asked if there's a co-signer on the loan, then does the solar agreement have to have the co-signer? And there is that, the co-applicant on the lower left, there's that checkbox. So
I just want to state that is true. I only ever put one person on a contract for the solar agreement, period. You just because a secondary co-signer is on the loan does not mean that they also have to be here. As long as one of the people that's on title, that's on the loan, is here, then you're fine. You do not have to have both on the solar agreement. In my opinion, it just complicates things.
got it.
I did not know that.
If the husband and wife are like, both our names aren't on there, then that's a different story. But 9 out of 10 times, one person on the contract.
Okay, I have a question. What about it is a brand new house? There's no utility bill yet. It's a brand new house. How you can do that on the part of the upload the electricity bill?
Yeah, thank you, Rosa, for asking that. And it's a great question. I would recommend working with a mentor that has done many of those. But the answer is you want to leave those notes in the project handoff notes when you sell the job under site info at the bottom. So you're going to leave those notes there that this is a new build, new home. We don't have a utility bill statement yet. Now, what you could do, Rosa, is if the homeowner does have a utility that they can log into the website, you could go in and capture the account number. You could, sometimes you can capture the meter number, sometimes you could capture the account plan. So again, if they have access to the utility website, screenshot this information, screenshot the customer name, and upload this into assets. So at least you're doing some work that, hey, I have the account number. I took a picture of the meter on the side of their house. Now I have the meter number, but they don't have a PDF bill statement yet. So do those tasks and leave notes in project handoff. Hopefully that helped answer your question. All right, guys, anything else going on in the chat? If you need to take off, no worries. Appreciate it.
My name's Tom O'Reilly.
I'm sorry?
I'm a new person. My name's Thomas O'Reilly.
Hey, Thomas.
Nice to meet you guys. Thanks for the for all the input. I'm learning. I got a lot to learn. I probably won't learn it all till Christmas. There's a lot to learn here.
Yep, that's totally fine. And you know, ultimately you're gonna tag mentors on 10, 15 utility bills, and you're gonna Zoom with them for 30 minutes. They're gonna show you all this. Then you're gonna present to the homeowner, and then you're gonna close those 5 deals after presenting 15.
Right.
So you're gonna
I'm
go
excited
all in.
about closing.
Great. Super good.
Thanks for your general leadership. You did a great job. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Now, for the roofing proposal, request 1, but now after this training, my concern is that roof proposal includes what is needed to replace the roof, or it has to go, or that proposal, do I have to go back to the others and start customizing?
So roofing gets pretty complicated, Rosa. You know, if they need just a paper lift and relay, if they want new tiles, if they want it on the entire roof or just a portion of it. So you definitely need to know how to price and quote estimate roofs and work with the roofing team if you are going to be selling a roof. And I hate to beat a dead horse here, but if you don't know those tools, you have to work with mentors that have sold many roofs that can teach you and guide you for that. We do not want to mess up deals and have bad experiences with the homeowner.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see if
Yes,
we need to wrap.
I have a question.
Yes, go for it.
For the homeowner, have a title on the house, and the co-signer doesn't have title on the house, but I want to know, can they claim the tax? If
Yes, that's a good question. Thomas, I'm going to mute you. Who is unmuted? Rosa, Thomas. Okay, Anna, sorry about that. Please stay on mute if you can, guys. All right, so Anna, my answer to that is, I just had this conversation with someone yesterday. My understanding is that in order to claim the federal tax credit, an individual needs to have that home listed as their primary residence or maybe their secondary residence. In my opinion, they do not have to be on title. So that's up to them and their CPA and their tax professional. If they're paying for some mortgage or some rent, or it's on their taxes as their primary residence, they're on the loan as a co-applicant, in my opinion, claim that damn tax credit. I don't care if they're not on title or not, or in the will. But again, we're not tax professionals. They have to get that done with their CPA in order to answer that question.
Thank you.
My short answer there.
And one more thing for the farm, for the house I got in Colorado. His house is like a farmhouse, and he said the address doesn't show right address on the Google yet. It doesn't put the right pin. So, and he want to install on ground mount. It's gonna be ground mount.
Cash or loan? Cash or loan?
Is a house.
Cash or loan?
Oh, I didn't ask yet.
Yeah.
Because he needs someone to go see in person though.
Yeah, so you want to sign it first, but if it's a loan, you need to generally use an address that is recognized in public records. So if the primary house is on one lot with an address and then another lot, like you just need to use an address that is recognized on public records and the post office, because the lender is going to want to lend on that and know that that's an address that's public records match. If it's cash, we'll slap it up pretty much anywhere. It's not as strict. So use whatever address is recognized by public records or the post office is kind of my answer.
So do we have anyone in Colorado, because they want someone to go in to see in person?
You need to try to build a proposal as close as possible. I recommend a lot of Colorado mentors. You want to present it, and if they have the interest, they have to sign off on the agreement, and then we will go survey it. We will, all nationwide companies, major companies, guys, this is how they operate. They will not send someone without these steps first. Yes, if anything changes, yes, if they see the results, yes, if the dollar changes, they can technically back out, is how I phrase it. Once they approve the designs and we go pay for the permit, that's generally when you're locked in and you could pay fees if you cancel. That's
Can you send me the recommend for someone so I can add as a mentor?
Yeah, Tom or Chris.
I'll send that to you, Anna. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I know Curtis Bailey and Drew Sugarman, and there's a few guys out there that are really good.
Jonathan, a quick question for you, sir. Fred Sabori, San Jose.
Yes, sir.
When will this recorded seminar, this session will be available, and will it be on the university or would it be on the knowledge-based section in the back office?
Yeah, thank you, Fred. These Tuesday trainings are always put on my YouTube channel. If you Google my name in YouTube, and then they're usually distributed in the Facebook Power Hitters Facebook group. It's an open public group for everyone. As far as knowledge-based university, I have to get with Irene. I don't think we're doing that at this time.
One other question, I'll make it quick. In regarding to the email addresses, as far as the headquarters, the main office, is there any consideration that we would have like fred.sabori@power.com rather than utilizing Yahoo or Gmail? Because I had a couple of high-tech guys that they were emphasizing they're not comfortable with this open email and the validity of the company. I'm just telling you what they have transferred.
I appreciate it, Fred. This has definitely been asked many times before. At this time, Power, I don't believe, has that on their radar or roadmap. I don't think it's in the best ethos of Power to give that to 8,000 sellers. So I would recommend buying your own URL, or whatever it takes, making your business card that you're authorized partner, independent consultant of Power, obviously sending our Inc. 43 and our credentials, and ultimately sending the contract. But no, we do not get Power emails. And I'll take it a step further and say your emails and your website should not have the letters POWUR in them. I highly recommend making it generic. Do not put that in your email or your website.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, take that from me. I originally did ownyourpower@gmail.com. I was so proud of myself until I see Power saying, no, you can't use our name and your stuff. And so that's why my email is debtbegone13, which is absolutely incongruous to anything else.
Nice. All right, guys, one or two last questions, anything at all, and we're gonna hop off here at 11:30 Pacific. Got to go to Anaheim Convention Center. Gonna go ahead and stop this recording, make sure we get this uploaded. Appreciate you all for being here.